Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is called Bank Being Funny About Her Money. Let's watch the video.
The other day we went to the bank and I was withdrawing a substantial amount of money, so I asked the teller, what is the maximum amount of money that I can withdraw today? He told me the amount. I told him, okay, let me get X amount out of one of my savings accounts. The reason why I asked this question is because I've been banking with them for a long time, and this is not the first time that I came in to get a large amount of money. It was on a Saturday, and normally they can't give you past a certain amount without, making an appointment. You may have to come back if they don't have any appointments available for that day. So I just needed to know how I was going to handle this transaction because I wasn't, familiar with this branch. This is a new area for me. That was the reason that I asked the question. He begins working on the transaction. I'm standing there for about 7 minutes. The transaction is still not complete. He informs me that, he apologizes that I have to wait, but he's trying to see where he can get this amount of money from. I said, no problem. A few minutes later, one of his colleagues come over to assist him with my transaction. She says, did you just recently transfer any money between accounts? I said, yes. In fact, this morning, I transferred X amount of dollars to a savings account. And she says, well, there was a deposit made into that checking account a few days ago. And I said, yes, it was. It was for X amount of dollars from my employer. She said, oh, this came from a tax return. I said, no, it didn't. It came from my employer. It was deposited into my checking account ending in such and such and such. And today I transferred X amount out of that same checking account into my savings account ending in such and such and such. She proceeded to say that it came from a tax return. I'm not sure if you're looking at the correct account because I haven't had any tax returns deposited into any of my accounts in years. Proceeds to tell the teller that was originally assisting me that whenever a member comes in and they withdraw this amount of money, that you as the teller have to verify where these funds came from. I'm fine with that. I'm used to these type of questions because, again, this is not my first time coming in and withdrawing X amount of dollars. So I'm thinking that's what she's doing. Maybe she's trying to verify where the funds came from, or either she was looking at the wrong account. Anyway, she proceeds to keep on talking about these funds coming from a tax return. I'm correcting her. These funds did not come from a tax return. These funds came from my employer. She says, oh, well, I am not familiar with this organization, so I didn't know. And it's tax time and everybody is receiving their tax returns. I said, okay, understandable. But again, these funds did not come from a tax return. They came from my employer. And once again, I am verifying who my employer is. Where is it saying that this deposit is coming from on my account? I can see this on my app, so I'm pretty sure they can see it on their end as well. I'm thinking we're past that. She brings it up again. The funds coming from a tax return. So I said, you're really blowing me right now because I've already told you where these funds came from. I can see it. The teller can see it. You can see it. Why do you keep saying that the funds came from a tax return? You said that you were not familiar with this organization. So I explained to you who my employer is yet again, and you're still saying that the funds came from a tax return. I'm really blown right now. She apologizes. The apology that's not really an apology. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask any member these questions because I have to know where the funds came from. Understandable. And again, we've already went over this and you continue to keep on saying a tax return. So the teller completes the transaction, counts my money out. We go in the car. My wife is about to pull off. I tell her no. Give me a second because I need to do some self-inventory and make sure that it's not me. Was it me? If it's me, let me know that it's me. Don't be biased because it's me, let me know. My wife says, no, it wasn't you, it was her. I said, all right, I got to go back in this bank. I go back in the bank. The same young lady that greeted me the first time greets me again. And she says, oh, welcome back. You're back so soon. I say, yes. Who is your manager? She tells me the manager's name. I said, well, I would like to speak to the manager. She said, oh, it's such and such in the purple shirt. I'm like, the same lady that was just now helping me when I was at the teller? She said, yeah. I said, no problem. Put me on the list. I'll wait. I need to speak with her. Now it's my turn. So she comes out of her office and gets me. We go into the office. I said, I'm such and such. I am the young lady that such and such was assisting before you came over to assist. And I would like to know, why is it that after I told you where these funds came from that was deposited into one of my accounts, that you insisted that this came from a tax return? She said, I'm going to ask any member that comes in here where the funds come from because that is my job and that is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be verifying funds. I said, no problem. No problem. That is not my grievance. My grievance is the fact that I can see where the funds came from. You can see where the funds came from. I verified where these funds came from. I told you this was my employer. And you still insisted that these funds came from a tax return. This is not my first time withdrawing a substantial amount of money, so I'm pretty familiar with the protocol. I know that you all have to ask certain questions because you do have to verify where the funds came from. But do you imply to every member that comes in here to withdraw X amount of dollars that the funds that they have in their account came from a tax return? She's just sitting there. I said, look, I pick up on microaggressions well. Immediately. I am not racist. I don't like it when people call me racist. I don't like when people call me racist. I said, who called you racist? Well, you said you pick up on microaggressions, and I do, and I did, and I am. Yeah, I do. But I never said that you were racist. You said that. I didn't say that, so you just told on yourself. I said, I expect you as the branch manager to be more educated to know that microaggressions is not only directly related to racism, but since we're on the topic of race, let me tell you something. Just because you see somebody that looks like me that comes in and withdraw X amount of dollars, it doesn't mean that it came from a tax return. That's not what that means at all. Because 92% of us, we get it in real life. We do. And if you're offended by the fact that what I just withdrew is more than your yearly salary, just say that. But I never called you racist. Your privilege just spoke for itself. The fact that you brought up racism lets me know that this is how you are on the regular. This is how you are. She's really trying to put on those fragility tears, and I just had to let her know those fragility tears don't mean shit to me. I feel absolutely nothing when y'all cry. Nothing. I don't care what you're crying about. I feel nothing. I'm not the black woman that's going to comfort you. I'm not the black woman that's going to forgive you. I'm not the black woman that's going to be understanding of what's going on with you. I don't give a shit because I have too much money in this bank and I've been banking with this institution for too long for you to have ever pulled some shit like that on me. That was the first incident of the day. When we leave the bank, we go to Chick-fil-A because we're meeting my daughter to get Chung Lee from her. My wife has to go to the bathroom real bad, so she hurry ups and pull in a parking spot, jumps out the car, and she's trying to get in Chick-fil-A. Another one of those stops her, all hunched over. Do you know that you parked in the handicapped spot? My wife is like, yeah, I know I parked in the handicapped spot. Well, I don't like when people park in those spots and they don't really need the spot. My wife said, I got a handicap sticker. Like, this is what happened when they don't mind their business. They do not mind their business. They love to use the microaggressions. And then the minute that you call them out on their shit, they start with the damn fake tears. It's so annoying. I ain't cutting them no slack. I am not cutting them no slack. Like I said, I feel absolutely nothing when they cry. I don't care what it is that they're crying about. I don't care how bad the situation is. I feel absolutely nothing for them. You know why? Because they don't feel anything for us. And the moment that I realized that, I had no more empathy from them. Had no more empathy from them at all.
It's crazy. You can't even bank no more. You can't go anywhere no more nowadays. Like, where should you put your own money now? Because you can't take out money. I mean, I think she should just made an appointment and did it that way to make sure that she could get her money out, because they try to be funny. It's not even theirs, and they over there worried about what she's doing. Now, what y'all think about this video? You know what to do. Comment below. This is Life with Shauna and Renee. Sorry, just woke up. I'm so sorry. This is Life with Shauna and Renee, and I'm out. Bye.